Joining us now for more is political analyst Lori Turnbull. Lori, good to see you as always. That polling, what does that indicate to you about the race?
Good to see you too. Thank you for having me. This is really shaping up to be a two-party race. I mean, clearly, Carney seems to be putting down a significant lead on Poilievre, and it seems to be holding. The NDP, according to that poll and some others too, are below 10%, whereas I think typically for them, they'd be around like 17, 18, even 19 in the last couple of elections. And so the popular vote is not the seat count. The election isn't over by any stretch of the imagination, but the popular vote will, and popular levels of support will tell us something about where the parties are in the standings. And it really looks like this is a two-party race.
Tomorrow marks the start of the third week on the campaign trail. What do you anticipate the focus will be?
I mean, I think we're still going to hear a lot about the uncertainty in our relationship with the United States. And even though we were not on Trump's list of countries that he's going to hit with additional tariffs, like we managed to kind of escape that this week, we still have 25% tariffs on steel and aluminum. We still have the 25% tariffs on auto. We still have a 10% tariff on oil. Like these sorts of things are still going to affect Canada significantly. And then there's the broader global picture, because 34% tariffs on China, 10% on the UK, like this stuff is going to have a significant effect on the sort of geopolitical trade scene. And so Canada, even though we're not on that list this week, we're not immune from that. We're going to be affected by that. And so I think we're still going to hear a lot about strategies for diversifying trade partnerships, things like that. I think all of the parties are going to try to be punching through on what they'll do to help workers, for example. You can see more coming from the NDP, for example, on what they would do in particular to try to make sure that people are able to fortify themselves for the kinds of economic problems and challenges that are coming.
And that leads me right into my next question. How much of an impact do you anticipate each party's response to the trade war with the U.S. will have on their campaigns?
I think this is an election about who is going to be the prime minister. Who do people trust to get in the room and try and talk to Trump, talk to others, figure this out economically? And I think that's one of the reasons why the smaller parties are having a harder time punching through, even if they say things that people want to hear. I think there's a real sense of focus in this election. There's a sense of, we really need to make sure we get this right. There's a heavy sense of consequence in this election. All elections are consequential, but this one has this really heavy feel to it that what we do now is going to make a big difference. And I don't think it's so much about the particulars of the policies, because if the ballot question is uncertainty, and I think it is, there's no way to know exactly how everything's going to play out. Who knows if people are going to go through with what they say they're going to go through with because the circumstances may not allow it? How do you offer a suite of policies and programs that are going to cost money when we don't know what the effect of all this is going to be yet? I think the fact that this is going to affect different parts of the country differently, whoever the prime minister is going to be, is going to have a serious tension in terms of the relationships between the premiers. So, I mean, I think people are looking for who is the right person to take this on. And so I'm not sure, that it's really going to be breaking down around who has the right package of policies at this point, because there's just so much up in the air.
Right. We'll have to leave it there. Lori, thank you very much for your time. Good to see you.